What is going on out there, peeps? All right, so there's some good things happening with cryptocurrencies. A lot of people ask me why it is I stepped away because I didn't really get into detail. I will explain that here in just a moment. But again, these are just my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor or a professional tax person. Just so you know that there are people out there that use, macro economics. They use things they've been taught when it comes to economics in school, even though I've had an economics class. Um, my view is it's not just that you watch trends in the market. To me, when I do a lot of my decision making, it's also based on a lot of real world events. I understand that life really dictates what's going on in the markets, period. So you can sit there and try to apply all these different theories and things that people have been taught. And I get it, a good majority of the time, you're going to be pretty close to what's going on. But we're in a really unique time in history right now. There is a lot of events going on that literally are just taking everything we know and seems to be twisting it upside down. I'll explain what I'm talking about here in a second. You guys know that you should be buying gold and silver. And when you do, go to our friends over here at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you asking for my address, and yes, I've gotten a lot of letters, I will respond to them. I can only, where I live and where my mailbox is, just so you understand, I can get to about once every couple of weeks. So my apologies if I don't get back to you right away. But when I go through the letters, I'll respond as quickly as possible, okay? You guys know I have this other website. I cannot stress it enough that you at least come check it out. It's only $3 for the month. So for $3 you could probably go through all the videos that are there. But focus a lot in this territory right here. It's really important. There's a lot of things going on that people should pay attention to. Because part of my decision making on my investments are based on the information in that category. You guys know, go support our friends over at Wall Street Silver. They are some awesome guys. They're kicking butt. I'm really happy to see their growth. They have both a YouTube channel. This is funny because this is where they were when we first started talking about them. And they're way up there now. No, I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm trying to make a point that their growth has been really good. So go check out their YouTube channel as well as their Reddit page. If you guys want to get psyched up about stacking silver, man, go over to the Reddit page and look at all the pictures that are in there. It's awesome, okay? So what's going on in the current markets right now? Of course, it's Sunday. Markets are closed for the most part, but as usual, we see Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are moving. So there is gold is still above 1,800 because it stopped there on Friday. And we see a quick recovery, not a massive one, but at least a decent one, almost a full dollar on silver on Friday. So it's going to continue to go up now. We are now in August. This is not silver delivery month anymore. We notice that the contracts that you do the short selling has drastically reduced. So in other words, banks aren't quite betting on them being short. They're still manipulating, but there's not as many short contracts. So cryptocurrencies, great rebound, you guys. Like I said, it was below 30. It's now up to above 41. Looking really good. There is, again, if you look over here at the 52-week average, this is the lowest in the past 52 weeks. This is the highest. You can see now they're past the midway point for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And people go, well, is there a Bitcoin? I mean, is there a cryptocurrency you like? Yeah, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Ethereum's. I'm out of cryptocurrencies all the way for now until something changes. Okay? Watching what they're doing, it's not just this. Watching what these people are doing over here, and you see this guy's plan right here, and it's going into effect. It is. Because of that, I don't trust the markets at all. They appear to be, and this is just my opinion, appear to be artificially pumping up everything. What happens is the so-called elite get in there, buy stuff when it's cheap, of course, magically know when to sell. They gain these profits, dump certain assets, they drop really low. Speculators panic, amateurs panic, they sell. Then these guys pick it up cheap. There is a trend in the market that was spotted by Lynette Zhang. I saw a video, and for the life of me, I need to find that video so I can show you guys. She noticed that markets are artificially pumped up, and I don't mean by a little bit, but by a large amount of money. What it does is it gives people hope. They lure you into these riskier assets. Then they dump all their assets, and then the market just crashes, boom, and you're screwed. You lose everything. It's better for you to be in safe assets like gold and silver. Now, I'm not sure how much longer this ride's going to go on, but we know right now the central bank digital currency is being pushed everywhere now. All of a sudden, there's a panic. That's because they're losing their grip on their control over people. More and more people are starting to wake up to this BS. Okay? Nobody believes it anymore. Nobody trusts it. We already know their plan. We already know what they're doing for the most part. Now, I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying for the most part. So their goal, in my opinion, is to just crash the market. See, first they keep you at home. They tell you not to go to work. Small businesses crash. Unemployment goes up. And then they act like they cause this problem. Then they act like they're your heroes. Hey, we're going to give you universal basic income. See, we're good guys. We're helping you. And there's some people out there like, good, I don't feel like working, I'll take the money. Then you got people out there that want to work, but they really can't afford not to take the universal basic income. They got families, they got kids. They need to survive. They know this. So to keep crashing it, then they let you come out a little bit, then they crash it again. Come out a little bit, crash it again. Don't you see that's a pattern? There's always going to be new variants magically popping up. The UK variant, Delta variant, Lambda variant. Now you got the B121 variant. And they're going to go, oh, this is worse than the other ones. Oh, I know you already got the jab, but now we're finding out what? What are we finding out? That most the people, 76% of it, by the way, 76% of the people that got the jab, 76% of the people make up, or the numbers that make up of new cases, all 76% of them are people who got the jab. So why? Why put that poison in your body? They're just killing you with it. Literally, they are. I'm not talking hyperbolically. You could see real wide professionals tell you to your face in here what is going on. These people ain't hyperbolic. These are some of the world's leading authorities in their field telling you that this thing literally is meant to be weaponized. And it is. So, without getting too far into that, they're going to artificially pump the markets. They're doing it. People who have a little bit of money to play with are trying to hurry up and get that get-rich scheme, trying to jump on cryptocurrencies. Look, it's a good ride if you know how to time it. But that's the thing. That's the thing about gambling. I did this example where I said there's a difference between a professional poker player and a gambler. Kenny Rogers did the song was the gambler was probably the best way to word it. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. See, a gambler sits down at a table with $100. Works his way up to $400. That's $300 more than the person started with. All of a sudden goes all in on a bet, all $400. Or no, let me reword that. So you have $400 altogether. You have $300 profit. you lose in one hand 200 of your dollars. See, a gambler is like, okay, no problem. I'm on a losing streak here, whatever you want to call it. Walks away from the table, feeling happy. I've now doubled my money. I started with 100. I walked away with 200. That's a poker player. Gamblers don't go, hey, I'm up 400. I just lost 200. I should walk away and be happy that I doubled my money. No, 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 no. Their mentality is different. They go, man, I lost $200. And they stay in too long. What is that? The fear of losing out? That's the same with investors. Instead of going in there and going, hey, when the Bitcoin was at its highest, you know what I mean? You started off, I think when I did my, my fictitious portfolio, Bitcoin was like $6,800. Ethereum was $147. I said if we put 10,000 to each of them, here we were. At the highest peak, the profits on Bitcoin's $10,000 investment on a fictitious portfolio was $94,000. Ethereum, $242,000 on a $10,000 investment. If you start off with 10,000 and you made 94, remember I cashed in the beginning my original 10,000 on Bitcoin, so that was a pure $94,000 profit. On my Ethereum, I left the 10,000 in there, my initial investment. Therefore, if you remove the 10,000 that I initially invested, it was at 242, somewhere around there. Now somebody would go, wow, man, that's unbelievable. And it took less than a damn year to do it. Yeah, hello, that's asking it. That's if you cashed in at its highest point. Then it lost 52% of its value from its highest point. Even when it got down to its current, it's still around 132,000, I think it was, for the Ethereum in profits. You should feel happy about you made that much. So do you stay in and keep hoping and praying that it goes all the way back to its original? And the market keeps slowly dropping. And you're like, no, it's going to rebound. Meanwhile, every day you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars, but you just keep holding on because you want that rush, you want that high. See, the smart thing is to first, if you get that much in profits, take out your initial $10,000 that you put in the first place. This way you're playing with house money. That's what we call it. In other words, if you lose all that money after you've taken your 10,000 initial investment out, you lost nothing. Now you might go, wow, man, I lost that 260. No, you lost nothing. That's house money. It never was yours in the first place. So people stay in way too long, hoping and praying. The least you could do is take out your initial investment. This way, then everything is just play money, if you get my drift. Or if you're really smart, take out when it's double your money. You know, if you start off at 10,000 and we got up to, I don't know what it was. Actually, I think it was like 292 altogether. 292 for Ethereum. Well, then just don't take out your 10,000 initial investment. Drop 50,000 out of that bad boy. Hell, take 100,000 out and leave the rest in there. So you just made 10 times your money, but you still got over $100,000 in there. Just let it sit. Do you see what I'm saying? The smart thing is, if you have an initial investment in something and it's really starting to grow that much, don't think about what you'll lose if you take out your initial investment. Don't be shy. Take it out. Take your profits. 292, take out 100,000. Feel good. Still know that there's over 192,000 in there. You see what I'm saying? Because of this mentality, the powers that be know this. They know how to work the markets. It's coordinated, you guys. Everything we see is manipulated. The markets are. Every article you see is about people bragging about, especially at places like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, bragging about how they know how to manipulate the market, how they do spoofing. That's just gold and silver. We see that happening now in cryptos. You see them selling puts, futures. That's how they manipulate the markets. So do you think banks are really going to take any kind of loss? No. They're not going to say, screw you. This is where Wall Street Reddit came in and worked this game good. Smart. You made a lot of people a lot of money and screwed over a lot of hedge funds. I love it. So, all this to me is going to be artificially pumped. And I don't mean by a little. I mean by a ton. So, can you make money? A lot of money? Yeah, if you time it right. But make no doubt about it, they're going to crash the crap out of everything. So, what is the real goal? We know this. Whenever cryptocurrencies really start to crash, and it's happened several times, you can't log into your platform to sell the cryptos. Nope. How many times does that happen? And they make an excuse. They always make an excuse. There should be some class action lawsuits out there against Coinbase, Robinhood, because when the markets were crashing, like when they restrict the number of shares you can sell, or told people they couldn't sell anymore AMC or game stop stocks, the government interfered in the markets, and nobody seems to be making a fuss about it. Nothing's going to happen to them. We know they did this. They manipulated the markets. We know this. And you can kick up a dust all you want, but nothing was done to these people. So once you're in nice and good and the cryptos are going up and you're feeling really good every day, slapping yourself high five, doing a little booty dance, yeah, feeling good. And then next morning wake up, boom, it's gone. And they'll say something, oh, the new Pimpy variant came out and started wiping out people left. It's going to be some kind of excuse. This is what they do before every major crash. Artificially pump up the markets. You get invested in it, and then Friday night, when you're asleep, boom, and the weekend's here, and you can't do anything about it. Or for those of you can go onto a platform like Robinhood or Coinbase or any of the others, you're not going to be able to get on. They'll just take your money. Then you complain, oh man, I try to log in. So then you have to go through the process of complaining about it, trying to get a lawyer, try to sue. Hopefully, then what happened is they'll just do a class action suit, and you get a very, very tiny percentage of what you initially invested in. And they'll go, you know what? You guys are right. Let me slap their hand for you. No. Don't slap their hand. Take away their licenses into business. Because what they're doing is fraud. But that's not going to happen. The bankers and the government and the media are all part of the same criminal element. The CTFC watches spoofing happen all day long. They haven't done shit to the bankers to do it. They don't care. So if you know this, going into your investing, don't get greedy. There is going to be another wave, in my opinion. And I don't mean like a small one. I mean like a damn huge one. So what they want to do is get everybody in these riskier assets. You see these grand illusions of being filthy rich. You're jumping in there, you're gambling away. They know it. Their goal is to strip away as much of your wealth as possible. Crashing the market does what? Well, if you're in riskier assets, you lose your money. But pension funds, 401ks, and IRAs, we've seen it in 2008. They lost somewhere around 50% of it, and then they couldn't get jobs, and then they ended up spending the other 50% just trying to survive. A lot of people lost everything. But you know who didn't? Yes, people holding on to gold and silver. So I remember I had a subscriber point out to me that, hey, Pimpy, you're misleading people. You didn't tell them that gold and silver went down during the crash too. Well, because it wasn't worth mentioning. And I told everybody why. It did. It dropped for like a couple of weeks and then shot up like a bat out of hell. So it does initially go down, and then shoots up shortly after that. So the recovery was sharp. So there was really no need to mention it. But no, it was a good point to bring up so that I can tell you guys, oh yeah, by the way, so I think his name was Ivan or Ivan. So I appreciate, I was good thing you brought it up because you guys should be aware of it. That gold and silver does that, but not to panic, to hang tight, hold on to it. It'll drop down maybe for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, but after that, slingshots up. Okay, this is what they do. Their goal is to take away everything, everything. So then what'll happen? You're going to be forced because you'll have no other choice. You'll have no money. Nothing in your savings, nothing in your IRAs, nothing in your 401ks, nothing in your cryptocurrencies. So where are you going to get your money from? You can't get no jobs. They're going to keep you in lockdown. The jobs are going to be scarce. Oh, but wait, they got a solution. Universal basic income. 100% digital currency that they control. You need something outside of the system, it is gold and silver. Here we go. China's elite role in emerging markets has traders creeping back. Whoa, really? Because what they do is they pump it up, then go down a little bit, grab some of that profits, pump it up, let it go down a little bit, cause the speculators to panic, sell, they grab the profits, pick them up cheaper, up, down, up, down. They continue to get richer. So if you know this game and you start getting good at it, at least decent at it, you know how it works. You know what to look for. We know that the Wyckoff chart for cryptocurrencies is being followed to the T. So if you read the graph, then you got an idea of what you need to do if indeed it continues to follow the graph. Had we known it before this pump in the current market, we'd have made out like bandits. But again, so what do? Now that you know about it, you watch for it. Pay attention to the graph, see if the patterns are repeating itself all over, then you know what is going to happen. And you just kind of follow it. And recovery in China, first of all, China's economy right now is in the crapper. I mean bad. So for them to go, hey, I just don't trust the news, man, I really don't. They're going to lie to people to get you suckered in to risky investments. And recovery in Chinese stock following a meltdown at the start of last week underscores how investors in emerging markets have few alternatives that are as big and liquid. After ditching the Asian nations' assets amid the turmoil, there are already signs that folks are creeping back. Yeah, already signs. So just that quickly, you lost half your money, but then all of a sudden there's signs in 2 days that it's creeping back up. You like how they did that? No, I think a big part of their taking a dump is the fact that they stopped doing cryptocurrencies, to be honest with you. That was generating a lot of money over there. I think taxes. There's no way that any global investor can ignore China unless there is a complete embargo by the U.S. government. That's not going to happen since they own Biden. So, but that's very unlikely. So again, I do expect the Chinese market to start to excel. I do. Because when you listen to the BIS, the IMF, World Bank, and Klaus Schwab, over here in the video, I explained to people, he tells you in this video here, right here, this man right here tells you that all governments should step aside and give way to an all-centralized government. He does. He says, we have a new monetary philosophy, policies and procedures of a 100% digital economy that is going to be controlled in the Asian area because they are better equipped to manage it all for the world. You got to go there. You got to hear it for yourself. So yeah, most likely there's going to be a lot of improvements in China's economy, especially the digital yuan. But keep in mind, it's their control. They have no intentions on letting you have any wealth whatsoever. 100% digital currency, no 401ks, no IRAs. They'll give you the impression that you can have one, But if you go negative interest rates, then every day your money's losing while it's sitting in savings. Their goal is to keep you spending all the time. Nobody's going to be allowed to save. You have no wealth transformation, generational wealth transfer. I told you about this. So if you're a rich family, you got millions of dollars, you're not allowed to transfer it down to your children. Yep, that's part of the Great Reset. So yeah, telling people that this, there's all of us, man, we're doing good now. It's only been 2 days. Calm down, people. There's no way in hell you guys recouped that quick. All right. So Walmart requires the headquarters staff to be jabbed by October 4th. Man, they are forcing this on people, and what for? I'm going to tell you now, from the healthcare industry, this no longer exists. No longer. At all. That's a fact. This thing's over a year old. By now, everybody has already been in contact with it. So either you've been in contact with it, you're asymptomatic and nothing happened to you. Some people got sick. Some people died. Some people ended up getting the vax. All in all, by this length of time, it is gone. There is none of this no more. Do your research. They're just going to continue lying. Then there's all these new variants so you can keep this facade going. It's all about control. The sooner you people stand up and stop doing it, the sooner we can get past it for reals. And for the record, anybody getting this, you're dead. It's not being hyperbolic. Go in here and find out why. These are the world's leading authorities telling people what is going on. It's the truth. So now you have all these, well, that's a good thing. I mean, if the population is a lot lower, then distinct, there should be a lot more jobs available. So that's screwed up, but you get my point. So yeah, this is all part of that. Why I don't trust the markets. These people are getting filthy rich. Amazon and Walmart, these are the chosen companies. They want everything centralized, monopolized, and controlled by only a handful of corporations that run everything in the world. That is by design. So, look at this. Dow Jones dips. Amazon stock plunges amid record EU fine. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. Amazon got fined. So I think it's funny. So you come over here and you find out EU found out something about Amazon didn't like it and have to pay a fine. Well, how much is the fine? $887 million. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. Nope, no, it's not. Just like when it went after JP Morgan and made him pay almost $1 billion in fine, JP Morgan can make that back in 2 days just from fraud. So it doesn't prevent them from doing the illegal things. They'll continue to do them because nobody's going to stop them. You think these types of things are going to stop them from doing it? No. You know what you do? Take away their business license, break up the company that's monopolizing everything, and yeah, that'll stop people and deter them from changing. So I just thought it was funny. I would share this with you for those of you holding on to, Amazon stock, or don't worry about it. It's not going to go nowhere. It's Jeff Bezos. He's part of the in club. Fear and greed index turns to greed as Bitcoin hits 2-month high. Greed? Yeah. So now they have a fear and greed index. Has been updated to greed as Bitcoin hits 42,600. Bitcoin has been resurgent in price following 12 consecutive days of bullish momentum. Bitcoin has seen 12 days of green for the first time since February and is headed towards its previous all-time highs. See, that's misleading. Word magic. What are the all-time highs? I think it was 64,000. You like how they did that? Ooh, it's surging. It's heading towards the highs. Well, here's the thing. If my goal is to walk 10 miles, and I'm at the 8-mile mark, and then something happens, and I'm starting all over at the 4-mile mark with 6 more miles to go, and I take my first step towards that 10 miles, then somebody could go, and they're heading towards that 10 miles. Yeah, of course I am. But I'm still way back there. See what I'm saying? So it was at 29,000 in July. Actually, it was just 29,000 not that long ago. A couple weeks ago, it dropped down there that low. However, following a dramatic decline, Bitcoin has managed to climb nearly 45% in the last 2 weeks. It has, nice. currently priced at whatever. So again, these news articles, I watch them and listening to all the things they're doing in the healthcare industry, listening to Klaus Schwab talk about the World Economic Forum and the vision they have for the world. When I see these, I go, no, I just don't trust anything they're telling us. So that's why I got out of cryptocurrencies, you guys. I don't want to risk any part of it. Why waste my time? I don't give a crap what they do to the metals market. I don't. I just want something outside of the system. Like I said, they could drop it all the way down to $1. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't. You see, the true value of something is only, so something's only worth as much as the person is willing to pay the most for it. Does that make sense? Some people look at paintings and go, oh, this is a Van Gogh. It's worth $67 million. Another person walked by and goes, it looks like crap. I wouldn't even pay $1 for it. You see what I'm saying? But if you have somebody willing to pay $67 million, then the painting's worth $67 million. So that's why I'm encouraging communities to look at these Utah dollars, these Nevada dollars, these gold dollars. It's funny, I heard somebody say they're not gold backed dollars, Pimpy. They're gold in dollars, which is the truth. Try to get these a lot more adopted in your area. You don't have to wait for the federal government to do it. You don't have to wait for the state to do it. I did a video showing you that somewhere over in Massachusetts, a small community, I think they're called Brookshires, they decided to create their own currency that they use there locally. That's nothing to do with the government. The banks use it. 400 stores use it. You could do the same with these gold back, and they have real value because the dollars have gold in them. I told you I have a meeting with our local store people. Getting a little bit nervous because this crowd's starting to grow as I'm talking to the locals. My goal is to get them to adapt the form of this. And now I found out we can make our own version. That might be something we consider. Get away from the fiat dollar. Get away from the central bank cryptocurrency. Altogether, don't use it. They can't be successful if you don't use it. Now, on the other side of this, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, this is the type of thing that's encouraging. More and more people are starting to use Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency. So again, once the market crashes and everything, and if there is any surviving cryptocurrencies, there's only going to be a handful of them. Bitcoin's going to be one of them. Ethereum's going to be the other. XRP without a doubt. Now, I know everybody has their favorites, and you're going to know, Pimpy, this one too. Oh, don't forget this one. Yeah, I know. Everybody got their favorite. XRP is the new Swift 2.0, so there's no doubt they're not going anywhere. Bitcoin is being invested into by all the rich people, including hedge funds and large assets and companies. They're putting them in their portfolio, and they're selling futures contracts on it, so it's not going nowhere, and so is Ethereum. So without a doubt, they might drop in value a lot. That's possible. But when the dust settles, they absolutely will be still standing. And I have a feeling, yes, people, yes, I have a feeling the other one's going to be Theta. Golden Tree Asset Manager. Here comes another hedge fund group, and New York based with $45 billion under management, has been adding an undisclosed Bitcoin to its balance sheets, according to the report by the Street, which cites two unnamed sources. With this purchase, the credit-focused firm company has become the latest Wall Street firm to become involved in the largest cryptocurrency. So here's my thought. The smart thing would be, if you're going to take that risk, to jump into Bitcoin. But make no doubt about it. They're going to 100% digital currency, and the only thing that can stop it is us refusing to use their monetary system. But to make sure that you use it, they're going to take all your money first. They're going to crash you, take your money, bail-ins, everything. 401k is going to drop, IRA is going to drop, unless you are protected with precious metals. And then you have no choice but to take universal basic income. For those of you who are going, but wait, Pimpy, I put most all my money into Bitcoin. Congratulations. Then you're smart. And as far as instead of leaving it in the fiat currency stock market, but not as smart when it comes to you should have gold and silver. So you have all your money sitting over there in Bitcoin. You're feeling good. Not bad. When the market crashes, don't panic then. What I'm saying is all these asset managers are in it as long as we know for a fact they're not going to just lure people in it and then dump it. But they are selling puts. They are selling futures. I really have a feeling they're not going to go anywhere, but they will control the market. So good. So you hold out and you have all your cryptocurrencies. You're feeling good about it, except for when you go to cash it in, you're in their system. They're going to tax the crap out of anything that's an asset for the poor people. So, yay, you made a lot of money on cryptocurrencies, but no, they're going to see rich people can afford to be taxed at a high rate. They don't give a crap. Most likely, they'll find loopholes that you won't know about because they can afford to pay an expert to find these loopholes. Meanwhile, you're paying taxes out the ass because somebody like Biden comes along and slaps capital gains tax on there. I know you go, well, they can do the same thing to gold and silver. Yeah, but I could sell it for cash. And if we go into 100% digital currency, I could trade. It's not anybody's business what I do with my gold and silver. I personally have it. I personally control it. I personally own it. It's not in anybody else's control but my own. It is a currency. Look at another one. Robo-advisor. Wealthfront offers grayscale investments in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here we go. These are the very people I told you guys we're going to jump into cryptocurrencies. They had this planned all along and that you did not want involved in cryptocurrencies at all. Hedge funds, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, you don't want them in there. And here they are, especially Grayscale. Clients at Wealthfront, an automated investment service, can now gain exposure to the crypto through the addition of two cryptocurrency trusts. It's in a trust, people. To the robo-advisor investment offering. The Palo Alto-based firm has expanded its roster to invest vehicles to include Grayscale's Bitcoin, their trust fund, and Ethereum's trust fund. Man, that's so disappointing to see that. Everything that was pure and lovely about cryptocurrencies is gone. There's no more anonymity. It's taxed. It's regulated. And now you got the wealthy investors and hedge funds in this. So if you want a mass adoption, there's one way to do it. It's good. It's good. But you see, it's like having your own little fort in your neighborhood. And you have all these bullies in your neighborhood that pick on people. You hate them. They're like their own little gang. It's like 10 of them there. There's like 20 of you in your neighborhood that get picked on all the time. And you guys start your own club. And you build a little fort. And only the people get picked on all the time are there. And then all of a sudden, one of the bullies find out you're there. And they kind of semi-push their way in there. Then another bully. Then another bully. Next thing you know, the bullies have taken over your clubhouse. And its true intentions for having it were to get away from the bullies. But now the bullies have taken over your clubhouse. Yeah, that's what this is. Gold US dollar index, which blows my mind. Talk about inflating the truth. The US dollar index, the dollar is not worth crap. Again, it's just another tool to control the market. If you don't see that we're in a serious state of inflation, you are sadly mistaken. I told you, in order for them to make up for the fact that they need to get the GDP somewhere around 75%, the debt to 75% of GDP, they're going to have to revalue gold. The party was just gathering steam, and then Powell entered the ultimate spoil sport, making the Fed dovish again. How long till he gets knocked out? Yeah, seriously, or knocked off. So everything this guy makes, every time he makes an announcement, it affects the markets. So everything he says is planned. It's scripted, obviously. The war on debt. There's no war on debt. They keep creating it more and more. Jerome Powell, chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, struggling to adequately define, you like this? Transitory. During the press conference, you should have heard him. Well, it's kind of, well, it means, he literally flip-flop and still not get out what his definition of it was. I think Powell's starting to get a conscious. And he's realizing that the American people are going to get screwed over in a bad way. And there's a small part of him that just wants to scream out, hey, run to gold and silver. So it says the U.S. dollar bearing the brunt of investors' wrath. The all clear sign flashed in a historic record. Oh, in front of the PMs. However, the post-Fed rallies mainstays in the PMs historical record. The recent euphoria is much more ready semblance that than sustain or substance. So really what I want to get to is this. Right here. To explain financial repression includes measures such as direct government funding. The feds print money and lend it directly to the U.S. Treasury. So first of all, that's against our Constitution. And why are we allowing a private bank to print our money and then charge us for us? They're charging us for our own money. Our own money. Then we got to pay interest on it. Huh? Interest rate caps, yield curves control. Here we get to the good sides. Blah, blah, blah. Governments use this strategy to keep interest rates low and ensure that they can finance their debt. And with the U.S. federal debt as a percentage of GDP currently at 128%. See this? They need it down to here. Not to mention now they want this big, huge infrastructure bill. Well, how are you going to help bring down the debt when you continue to keep everybody in lockdown? Nobody's generating income. Who's going to be able to pay taxes? And you keep going, hey, we're going to go after that top 1%. But people don't realize that the top 1% isn't Jeff Bezos and them. It's really couples who saved up their entire lives for savings. They make it look like the top 1% is all these bankers. And don't get me wrong, they're in the top 1%. Most likely they're the top 0.5%. But in the top 1% is couples who've been saving the vast majority, most all their lives. I'd say couples who've been saving and busting their ass to do so, out of the so-called 1%, they probably make up about 86, 87% of that. When they say, oh, we're going to target, they know they're not targeting Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett. They're not targeting them. We know this. No, they're trying to take away the wealth of those people who actually saved. You got to do your research. When they come out talking about how these corporations don't pay their fair shares, the people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk don't pay their fair shares, good. Then specifically go after them. Don't just say the 1%. How can you pay down the debt when people are not working? As soon as you put any kind of percentage on interest rates, the markets start to crash. We've seen that happen. March of last year, not this year, last year, as soon as they even did a percentage of the interest rate, boom, the market crashed. How are they going to pay off this debt? In the past, that's what you did. So instead what they're going to do is they're going to allow inflation to try to take care of this. They're going to allow prices to go up everywhere and then try to inflate this crap away. They're hoping. It's not going to happen quick enough. They're going to have to revalue gold. Sooner or later, they can keep playing this game all they want. So for me, when I see prices of gold and silver down this low, and they keep doing this, I don't care. To me, that is just buying it on discount. I'm going to continue stacking. This cannot go on much longer. As a matter of fact, it's more than obvious that all their little tricks, they're running out of tricks to do. it's going to come tumbling down. That's why you need gold and silver. You need money outside of the system. Sure, for those of you in riskier investments, you're going to have a little ride, but be careful is what I'm saying. Cryptocurrencies will go up. Be careful is what I'm saying. Don't hold on too long. If the market starts to look like it's going to crash, it's good luck. Because if you have the ability to know, then you are a genius and you can see into the future. Share your secrets. Anyways, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. Just be careful with your money. The smart investment right now is gold and silver. Stop looking at prices. Nobody gives a crap about that. If that's how you're judging your investments, then you're doing this all wrong. We're thinking long term. We're thinking protecting your family, keeping it out of the system so that you're not controlled. All right? Talk to you later. I'm out.